Is there any way to prevent these injuries? Should organizations like FIFA, NFL, MLB, NHL, and especially UIL be more involved in preventing lifelong head injuries? How can the number of concussions and other head injuries be reduced? In the 21st century, head injuries are becoming more serious in all levels of sports. From the Pee Wee League to the professional level, head injuries can seriously alter an athlete's life. A concussion may be caused either by a direct blow to the head, face, neck, or elsewhere on the body with an impulsive force transmitted to the head. Concussions result in a graded set of clinical symptoms that may or may not involve loss of consciousness. High-risk symptoms result after multiple concussions. While the first hit can prove problematic, the second or third head impact can cause permanent long-term brain damage. Cumulative sports concussions are shown to increase the likelihood of catastrophic head injuries, leading to permanent neurologic disability by 39%. 1 in 5 high school athletes will sustain a sports concussion during the season, and 4 to 5 million concussions occur annually, with rising numbers among middle school athletes. 3,800,000 concussions were reported in 2012. Not surprisingly, that was double than what was reported in 2002. Concussions have risen 200% among teens ages 14 to 19 in the last decade. High school football accounts for 47% of all reported sports concussions, with 33% of concussions occurring during practice. After football, ice hockey and soccer pose the most significant head health risk. Justin Wicker, a pre-med student and former soccer player, talks about his experience with head injuries.
Yeah, I got 2 concussions, and you can't play, any sport. You can't do any activity. You're really sensitive to light, so you can't really do anything like outside, or all kind of light hurts you. You can't really think that intensely about like school and stuff like that. So taking tests and quizzes is kind of a challenge if you have a concussion.
Concussion symptoms may include headache, confusion, lack of coordination, memory loss, dizziness, and fatigue. Long-term effects can vary depending on how severe the injury was and how many injuries occurred. Thomas Jones played in the NFL for 12 years and experienced many blows to the head leading to brain damage.
I'm not really sure about too many misconceptions people have about athletes with concussions. I mean, I just think that until you've had a concussion, you really, can't imagine how that feels. It's like an out-of-body experience. That's really what it is. I've had times where I've been hit immediately, and I've seen stars like in the cartoons, where you'll see stars. I've been hit where I've seen black spots. I've been hit where I see 2 of you. So I see you're here and you're here. And I have to try to put you back together. I've had times where I've been hit and I literally have been in the game, and the coach or the quarterback or somebody was talking to me, and I literally was just, I'm hearing you, but I'm not listening.
The NFL's concussion crisis has raised some uncomfortable questions about what it means to love a sport that causes lasting harm to its players. The league's ratings continue to reach near record highs, yet at the same time, scientific research suggests that football can lead to a wide range of long-term brain conditions. The NFL is known as the League of Denial because they try to deny or ignore the pressing problems of head injuries in professional football.
And I see guys who are hit and they're out. And I've seen guys, I don't know, countless guys get knocked out right in front of me, bang. And the first thing that you usually see is it's almost like their body and soul, when their soul left them.
As Thomas stated, players in the professional level are left in the game after having multiple blows to the head. They are paid millions to risk their lives to stay in the game to keep the statistics high. Teens are encouraged to play sports in school to diversify themselves and learn life skills, but 50% of parents do not want their children going to the major leagues because the national leagues like the NFL and FIFA are not as pressing for the immediate safety to the players.
Do you think that there are enough precautions in football to prevent head injuries?
Yes.
Does the fear of head injuries scare you?
No, it does not.
Dawson's point of view as a varsity player in UIL is that the sport is safe, but the professionals are not as safe and confident as Dawson. UIL has taken some preventative steps to decrease the number of concussions in high school sports, but the major leagues are not following this example. UIL offers free concussion screenings where trainers and doctors come in to test the athletes for signs of head injuries. School trainers must be educated in how to effectively treat concussions, and if it seems as if someone has a concussion, they are required to come out of the game immediately.
This is maybe like a defensive tackle, like in the center D tackle. I could like block down on him, and then we hit head to head because that's what we're supposed to do. You're supposed to like lean down and so you can get leverage. But if he does the same thing, you can both hit your head and you just both just kind of just go whoa and just keep going.
Every year, over 100,000 concussions occur in all levels of football, and 60% of these are from head-to-head collisions. In an impact lasting just 15 milliseconds, a player's head, on average, experiences almost 100 Gs of force. And collisions on special teams can result in forces of up to 190 Gs. In the NFL, the average speed of a head-to-head impact, the velocity of both heads combined, is 20 miles per hour, with the struck player's head decelerating 14 miles per hour. According to studies done by Sports Science's chief medical advisor, Dr. Basil Aish, this 15 millisecond impact is equivalent to getting smashed in the head with a sledgehammer.
The severity of concussions is an important issue that the NFL says they are addressing. The collisions are deadly for the athletes, and if the NFL continues to not directly get involved with preventing the head-to-head collisions, then the athletes will continue to suffer even after they retire.
When I was playing, we did not call them concussions. We come to the sideline and we get the little smelling sauce and, okay, get back in. How many fingers do I have up?
I can't remember a player being taken out of a game for being concussed. And I had teammates who couldn't remember plays, who played, who were dinged, and finally dinged so much they couldn't play anymore.
Not only does the NFL avoid the injuries, the corrupt FIFA organization does not take action also. FIFA has a corrupt presidency, problem with financials, and other problems that distract from what should be the main focus of a professional sports organization, the safety and well-being of their athletes.
We brought a lawsuit alleging that FIFA and the U.S. soccer governing authorities from age 18 down to youth soccer have failed miserably in their duty to protect athletes from the dangers of concussion. Defendants in the case are seeking to dismiss on the grounds that they had no legal duty to the kids and young athletes who play in their leagues. I think that's rather shocking, and I hope that all parents who have kids in those leagues are aware that the league says they have no duty to protect your children from the dangers of concussion management.
The plaintiffs accuse FIFA of failing to enact rules to mitigate the number of concussions despite years of recommendations from the medical community. FIFA is shown to not take responsibility for the injuries of players under their jurisdiction even though they do not enforce the rules to keep the same players safe. This causes tension in the league because FIFA tries to claim that they have rules in place to keep athletes safe, but if those rules are not enforced, a jury would agree that it is just as bad as not having rules at all. Heading the ball at a young age can stunt brain growth, and as the players get older or more advanced, the headers become more and more dangerous. FIFA needs to make sure that athletes are able to safely play soccer while still having fun with the game. George Phillips, a select coach for over 30 years, has had vast experience with sports injuries and the FIFA organization. He played for the Chelsea Football Club, so therefore he has seen injuries at all ages and all levels of soccer.
Did a player get a severe head injury?
Yes, actually I did, and it wasn't anything but a collision. And he turned around, the goalkeeper was coming out fast, didn't realise it was there, and basically they collided and he decided to make contact with the goalkeeper's knee, which totally knocked him out. And he was flat out. Fortunately, the medics were nearby, came on the field, and we got him off. He did have concussion from that for quite a few weeks, because I think it ripped his neck as well. You know, it threw his head back.
People pay enough attention to head injuries?
There are moments on the field where people should come on much quicker. There's still a little bit of, "I'll get up, you'll be all right." Personally, if two kids come together as a head and it is a head-to-head collision that's physically head-to-head like that, I think you should immediately stop it, because you don't know if someone's got, they might be knocked out, they might be having, put them into a fit, an epileptic fit or something like that, and you got to get there quick. So I think that it's good we have the studies, and coaches should be aware, and referees and officials should be aware to stop the game immediately if there's any sign of it.
According to Phillips, the sports organizations should use the referees to enforce the rules to immediately stop the play if someone is hurt. It is crucial to the safety of the athletes to examine the injury as soon as it happens, so that if it is a head injury, it won't develop even further into the spinal injury or something more severe.
As it relates to football, just training, as far as teaching kids how to tackle, keeping their eyes up, seeing what they see. All these buzzwords we use in coaching that's tell the kids, see what you hit, keep your neck bowed back, and try to keep your head out of the tackle. Use more your shoulder pads and your arms and your feet, and try to keep your head out the tackle. Usually, for our situations, if a kid gets a concussion, he gets a new helmet, a brand new helmet. I mean, we pay for it through our quarterback club, et cetera, et cetera. So he gets a new helmet, or maybe mom, dad want to get their own helmet. But these days, these helmets, Revolution, Schutz, all these normal companies that provide equipment for us, they're always advancing their helmets, and all of them are concussion safe helmets.
This is a multi-layered, highly engineered solution, and it will make a difference. We don't have the typical helmet with a hard shell and some padding on the inside. We can reduce acceleration. We can make a difference, and it's because we've come about this in such a profoundly different way.
Vices.
On the smaller scale, local organizations are making an impact to bring to attention the growing problem of head injuries in all levels of sports. UIL and the city leagues are putting rules and regulations in place to make sure that the players do not have to come into harmful contact with other players. The problem occurs in the professional level when the athletes are being paid based on their ability to do dangerous stunts and perform to their physical breaking point. The NFL denies affiliation with the growing numbers of concussions in the league and the direct correlation to life-altering diseases like CTE. Some effects that come from the neglect of the professional organizations like the NFL and FIFA are not even seen until the athletes have passed away. It is the job of the people to keep pushing these leaders, like Roger Goodell and Sepp Blatter, to make the changes that are necessary in order to keep the athletes safe. It is easy to improve the quality of the equipment and encourage the referees to make harsher calls, but nothing will change if no one is there to push the changes into action.
That is not correct. That is correct.